going on, dudes and dudettes? So the NFL trade deadline recently happened the other day on Tuesday, and ex-USC player Leonard from the Giants was traded to Seattle with a little reunion with ex-USC head coach Pete Carroll, who's still the head coach up there in Seattle, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, they still had a great relationship since, so that was awesome seeing that reunion happen. It just sucks that, a great player like that was available, and of course the Chargers did nothing. A lot of good players got traded, and of course the Chargers did nothing other than waive someone that I've disliked quite a bit, but I'll get into that maybe later in this video or some other video. But yeah, and even Matt Barkley too was recently signed to that same team, the New York Giants practice squad. So maybe if the injuries still keep piling up for that team at quarterback, he might end up being at least a backup, maybe a starter for that team, which would be pretty cool for him. Definitely looking forward to that as well. And then Jordan Addison, the ex-USC wide receiver who's playing for Minnesota right now, was recently named the NFL Rookie of the Month for October. Obviously, he did very well, especially in that Monday night game against San Francisco. So yeah, he definitely deserved it. Congrats to him. Like I said, always sucks that he's not on the Chargers roster, but whatever. And then the new ESPN college football playoff rankings, officially did come out. USC in the AP poll was always kind of like almost out of the top 25 or right at 24, especially these past couple of weeks, but they did make it all the way up to number 20, at least in the college football rankings, which is pretty good because they obviously know how talented they are and had some pretty tough games as of late, and all they're going to do is have more tough games because according to this ranking, Washington, who they play this Saturday, is at number 5, and then if they somehow beat them, then they get who will most likely be next week's number 5 team in Oregon, if Oregon wins whoever they're playing this weekend. And then, later in a couple weeks, who knows how far UCLA will be up as well, because right now they're at number 19, just right ahead of USC. So, yeah, it's going to be a crazy end to the schedule, hoping to ruin some of these Pac-12 dreams for a lot of these top Pac-12 schools. And if, USC just wins even this weekend, it will be number 1 in the Pac-12 and in pretty much the leading spot to play in the Pac-12 championship game either way. So definitely looking forward to that and hoping for the best for my USC Trojans. And the 2025 5-star linebacker Jonah Williams recently released a top 12 or final 12 of teams. USC was included. He's like the 15th ranked overall player in that class right now. So that's obviously some good positive news for their future recruiting class, hoping for a bit more. And then DeMar DeRozan, ex-USC basketball player, recently did pass up Larry Bird on the scoring list, so he's like 38th or 36th, something like that now, which is pretty crazy because a lot of these guys have been playing for quite a bit, and you'd think they'd already be up on like the scoring list, but he's still kind of taking his time. But usually when you reach a certain point, it kind of seems like you're passing somebody every single week or so, or every other week. So hopefully that will happen to him. He'll probably be the highest scoring USC Trojan in the near future. So hoping for that. We'll see what else he has the rest of his career going on. And then House of Victory did have a basketball signing the other day in Brandon Gardner, who I believe is an incoming freshman. He's pretty popular around the school already. Hopefully he'll get some playing time, but most likely will be coming off the bench. But yeah, either way, congrats to him on joining the NIL Brotherhood. And then, Zachariah Branch was recently named a Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year finalist. Obviously, he scored touchdowns in multiple ways, and even though he missed a couple games, he still has some pretty nice eye-popping stats for a freshman, especially at the wide receiver position. So, glad he at least made that. It just sucks for his family because the other week, his brother who plays safety on defense, Zion Branch, recently suffered a season-ending injury. Lincoln Riley did not indicate exactly what or where the injury was, but it seemed like it was a lower leg injury because he said it was similar to what he had before, which was a torn ACL, I believe, a year or so ago, right before his freshman year. So yeah, definitely sucks. Praying and hoping for him. Makes a speedy recovery, but yeah, that's tough. It's kind of like Max Williams, who is another safety who always continuously got hurt and still stuck it out at USC. He's been still pretty talented, but you don't know if that's just because of age or whatnot, but definitely still fighting on and fighting back, and hopefully we'll get these guys back soon. And two ex-USC offensive linemen who play for the Dallas Cowgirls, Tyron Smith and Chuma Edoga, recently suffered some injuries the past couple of weeks or so it sucks that they will be out, especially because they're ex-USC guys, but yeah, definitely looking to make sure they come back healthy, even though it is for the Cowgirls, as I mentioned. And then a 5-star defensive lineman, Elijah Griffin, says he recently said that he wants to visit USC, and he's definitely one of the more 5-star plus, as they call it. He's like not only a 5-star, but he's like one of the better players in that class. So you're definitely like top 10, top 15, top 20 overall player in that class. So it's good that, like I said, future recruiting is looking positive right now for USC. And then another guy recently said the 2025 running back Donovan Johnson put USC in his final 5, and he's a 4-star running back. So then they're up against a lot of good competition and a lot of people they're going to be facing in the Big Ten too. So hopefully they will be able to keep this guy away from those schools. But yes, going down to the wire for a lot of these talented guys now. And then a top edge guy from Northern California, Naki Tuakoi, hopefully I'm saying that correct, says he definitely has a lot of interest in USC and is looking forward to setting up a visit at some point. I believe he was the one that decommitted from Stanford. I could be wrong, or one of those other schools. Pretty good program and looking elsewhere to go, and luckily USC is high on that priority list, so I'm definitely very excited about that for him and going for USC's future roster. And then Nikola Rakosevic, I believe that's how you say his name. He was an ex-USC basketball player. Right now he's playing overseas, but he might not be playing for long because he dropped 50 points and 18 rebounds in a game out there. So yeah, that's pretty awesome for him. Always whenever that happens, a spike like that, these guys, the NBA teams are pretty desperate, so they'll try to get him on a roster at some point, or a G League team. But I still think he was still pretty talented and one of the better guys at that time on that team, and I was surprised why he hasn't still lasted inside the NBA, but looking to, after this performance, get a chance once again to be in the NBA. And so far this season, according to PFF, the safety for USC, Kalen Bullock, is the number 2 overall rated player in the country, which is nice because he is very talented, so you expect him to be up there, even though USC's defense has been struggling quite a bit, but he still makes enough plays here and there, enough interceptions and stuff, all those stats to be able to keep him up there, highly rated. So like I said, I definitely think if he's on a team like the Chargers playing next to a player like a Derwin James, then it's gonna unlock him even more. And yeah, I just think if the Chargers screw this one up, if he does end up deciding leaving after his junior year, then yeah, the Chargers are definitely done to me, as they say, because they've missed out on a lot of guys recently. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Talanoa Hufanga, Michael Pittman Jr., a lot of guys, they've missed out. It's very sad. Very, very sad. Yes, they got Thule this last draft, and he's been really good, but yeah, they definitely screwed up there. And then a 2024 4-star running back, Brian Jackson, I believe he's from Texas, has been going off pretty much in the past 3 to 4 games. Stats are crazy. He had, let me get this correct, 21 rushes, 113 yards, and 3 touchdowns in one game. 25 rushes, 129 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Then 24 rushes, 159 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns as well in that game. So I'm pretty sure he's going into like playoffs and all that stuff, or at least going down the stretch. And he did miss a game or two due to injury, but he's just come back even stronger as well. So I hope a lot of these other colleges aren't looking to get him on, or recruit him a little bit harder now, and hopefully he's still committed to USC strongly. But we'll have to wait and see, because he's definitely looking like one of the talented guys in that 2024 running back class. And to end off with some miscellaneous news for this video, I think I'm going to stick with this one, just more of USC based, and then go off on the other stuff in a future video. But yeah, one more time, Blink-182's new album was debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, which is pretty crazy. It's the first time they've done that in a while. I don't know if it's the first time ever, but I know they did have quite a few of them that were high up there, so that's pretty cool for them as well. And then even did see the news that on X that I think it's 18 or 19 year anniversary of that music video called Always during their Untitled Record album, which was always the coolest music video. It's still very cool to see how they basically filmed 3 different times, and there's each band member has a different thing, and they're pretty much doing the same thing but trying to sync it all together. And it's pretty cool how that director did that. I think he did direct a movie or two before or after that, but yeah, either way, still nice to give some love to a pretty cool record, or a pretty cool not only song but music video as well. Can't believe it's been that freaking long, so definitely getting old. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Bye. Bye.